If you've got a problem, then of course you're going to want to find a solution, right? And that's good. That's called being proactive and saying, hey, you're not going to put up with this problem anymore. Fine. But when it comes to the idea of showing up digitally, especially as a coach, one big thing that we keep hearing, especially when it comes up to being an online coach, is that you are not getting sales because you are not making enough content. And then you go down the rabbit hole, then you spend your thousands of dollars, and let me not repeat the rest of the nightmare. It's one thing to want to solve that problem. It's one thing to say that you're going to invest in all of these ideas and stuff. But if it is that you are not strategically creating content and that content is not aligned with your personal brand, you are wasting your money. Like, do I need to continue? No, I mean, it's not that I'm mocking the situation. It is terrible. And a lot of persons really end up feeling slighted by this, for the fact that, they would have spent their hard-earned money and they still end up with the same problem. I want to remind you that creating content from that authentic place, from that place of you understanding what you bring to the table, that content doesn't necessarily have to be rigid. That content doesn't necessarily have to see you posting 50 million times a week. If you get what I'm saying, of course, I exaggerated. You developing your own personal brand and, deciding on what your community will be like, will literally be able to dictate how you create content, how often you put out content. So I'm not going to tell you that you need to post more. I'm not going to tell you that you need to make sure that you go live 3 times a week, 5 times a week, or whatever. I don't do that. But at the end of the day, I need you to be secure enough in your personal brand and in what you have to bring to the table to know that when you decide to show up online and when you decide to create content on multiple platforms, that is going to get people interested in working with you. And the persons who are willing to invest will definitely come too. So great that you want to solve that problem, but it's time to be very strategic about it and time to be very real with it. And guess what? You already have the raw materials. You already have what you need to build your personal brand. But what you need to do is actually pull it out of you, right? And I'm here to help you do that.